Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. Did the Pokebros, quote unquote, man, that's what everybody calls them, the people that come in, make everything go to the moon, the Pokebros, did they ruin Lorcana? And this question is pretty much a loaded question because I'm enjoying Lorcana. I've always enjoyed Lorcana, even when, before we had all these great, iconic sets. I've always enjoyed what I liked. I've enjoyed Pokemon, even through this bull run that Pokemon's going on right now. Everybody's crying and complaining. No, what I think is, I think people are very spoiled, and I think they don't think at stuff. They don't think about things in a multi-level type of way. Like, there's not just the Pokebros coming in and everything's going to the moon. There's a lot happening in a hobby, and at the same time, there's people who was in Lorcana since the beginning. They, took a break from it. They started seeing, oh, they're doing, they got a winter spell set, or they're doing Fable. Fable brought a lot of people back into Lorcana. Um, Pixar with, doing like the Buzz Lightyear and stuff like that. That brought a lot of people back into Lorcana. There's a lot of people that was here since first chapter. They wasn't really into the sets that came after, and now they want to get back into it. I think those people are coming in, and I also think that Ravensburger does a lot of marketing. What they're doing with the Disney cruises, with the promo cards and stuff like that. Even when if you went to go see Toy Story 5, you got a promo. I think they do a lot of marketing, and that does have an effect. That does have people like, yo, I forgot about Lorcana, or like this is their first experience with Lorcana. I think there's a lot of new people that are coming in. They're like, wow, these cards are actually great, because we can't deny the fact that the last four sets that came out, art wise, hands down, is better than anything they've ever produced. Now, I'm not saying all the other stuff is bad. I enjoy a lot of the older cards, but from Fable forward, the art has went to another level. And I know that that's by um it's not just like random. I know that they probably went in the lab and said, "Hey, we need to make better products, make better cards, better art." And I think they're definitely doing that. Attack of the Vine is the same way. But I think there's a lot of things happening in the hobby, and I just don't think it's just people coming in and they're flipping. I think there's always gonna be that with stuff that's in demand and stuff that's like um people want it. There's always gonna be people in there trying to flip, and to be honest, like, you can't really regulate that, or you can't really enforce that. I mean, people are gonna buy it, and I think that just because something looks crazy or it's priced in the point like priced like $200 a box, to you, you may been buying the box at $100, so you're looking at it like, I would never spend $200 for a box. There's somebody else that comes in here that's like, yeah, I got 200 bucks, because I think people are forgetting the fact that this is all luxury. This is, for one, this is all gambling, but this is luxury. This is, some people have different wallet sets. Like, some people can go out and buy $1,000 case and enjoy opening the case, and some people can't afford that. But just because you can't afford that doesn't mean you should shame other people for saying like, yeah, I can afford it and I'm gonna buy it and I'm okay. I think that the hobby is for everybody. And if you're trying to control the hobby, how people interact in the hobby, I think that you're the problem, not the Pokebros. I think anybody that's trying to control what somebody else is doing, if it's not negatively affecting the the um the bottom level of it. And the bottom level of it and the base and the frame of this is the players have to be taken care of before anybody else. This is a game that is built on the players playing the game, and I feel like they have to be taken care of first to keep this going. And collecting cards and everything else is building blocks on top. And with Wilds Unknown, the players, the people that actually really play the games, not the guys that's on Facebook talking about, oh, everything's expensive. The players know that the cards across the board are very affordable. There is no issues with getting a card that you want. And yeah, some people will say, oh, the box is 200, but if you're a real player, you know that you're supposed to be buying the cards. Or you know that it's better. You get more bang for your buck for just buying the cards that you need. I think that there's a lot of people that are disgruntled, and I have this up here to show that people, they don't know when they're winning. Like, they don't understand that at the end of the day, this is a business. It's it's a hobby, of course. You know, it's camaraderie and everything. But at the end of the day, Raven Burger is, they're a for-profit business, meaning that they have to be successful on some level, and they have to make money to keep it going. And this is the part of, like, nobody talks about, and it's like they'll be like, "Oh, you know, boxes are expensive," and it's like boxes were cheap for years, bro. Like, I had walls on them, but let's go back to Into the Inklings, bro. Into the Inklings, bro, was probably the most printed set of all time, right? And this box, believe it or not, if you're new in the hobby, this box was, you know, you can find it at wholesalers. It was everywhere, man. Like, I have a box here, and I'll show you guys. This is the Into the Inklings booster box, right? One that I have, right? I got this box for $40. And no TCG ever created that a box that's supposed to be MSRP $143 should be sold for $40. It's not supposed to be this cheap. Like, and I think that if you think boxes are supposed to be that cheap, I think there's something wrong with you. Like, yeah, the boxes were cheap, and this is the same thing that happened with Pokemon. Boxes, booster boxes used to be $100. They weren't supposed to be $100. Like, and I get it, like, it was like that for a long time, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't be like it's supposed to be like that. That was your opportunity to most of these sets to buy as much as you wanted and store it up and understand, like, hey, it's not supposed to be like this. And maybe in the future, if I believe in Lorcana, as it gets better, it's probably not going to stay this price. A lot of people dropped the ball with that. Me, I was buying Into the England boxes. You know, I have a lot of those boxes because at $40 a box, like, I'm not gonna ever get a better price than $40 a box. And I actually went through my boxes, and guess what? I pulled this card because I went through our boxes. I think I showed it in one of my other videos. I went through my boxes and I was like, yo, I seen one that was had a tear in it. I was like, oh, whatever, I'd open it. I paid $40 for the box. This card's worth more than a box, you know? And I think that people don't understand it. And I'm gonna show you what Internet Inklings, even on TCG Player, was selling for. This is June. Look, 90, 80, 70, selling for in the 70s. That's 50% off MSRP. $60 a box. This was selling on TCG Player in April for $60 a box. It's not supposed to be like that. The TCG, for a TCG to survive, the company has to make money, the demand has to be there, people have to want the items, people have to buy the items. Um, it's an ecosystem that has to work. It can't just be, hey, we're taking losses, and Ravensburger may not be taking a loss, but the LGSs are taking losses because their cost is like $90 to $100. So now if LGSs are selling for 60, $70, they're buying this stuff to take a loss. That's why a lot of LGSs was like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep buying Lorcana. Like, there's a lot of LGSs that didn't have the last couple sets. They kind of like stopped at. I know LGSs that stopped at Ursula's Return or Shimmering Skies. They were like, yeah, we're not buying no more because nobody wanted the stuff. The stuff was selling for below their cost. It didn't make sense for a business. Now, look at this. England's is selling for $110. Like, it doesn't, it's not supposed to be that cheap. There's supposed to be high points along the journey, and it's supposed to be low points. Will there be another low point for booster boxes? More than likely, because now that the demand is there, it tells Ravenberger, okay, we got to print more. So these next couple of sets, we may see more reprints, we may see more boxes come out, and that will kind of tame the price down. It's very hard. I think it's probably impossible for a company to print exactly to demand. They're either going to print more and crash the price, or they're going to print under and the price is going to go to the moon. It's hard for them to find exactly where it is because they can't predict demand. And like, it's not an item where you can just snap your fingers and make. This stuff has to be planned out so they can plan and be like, oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Yo, triple the print run. And that may be too much and it's going to crash the price of the boxes, So I just think that a lot of people online, they're complaining. I think a lot of people are disgruntled. They're mad that they can't get these boxes for the prices that they could get them boxes for. And I just think that, to be honest, that's like a personal problem at this point, because even Winter Spell is up to $200 a box. Nobody wanted the boxes when they were $100. I was buying Winter Spell boxes for $100 at LGS. LGS was honoring that. And the other thing I want to get into, people are mad at LGSs for raising the price. The LGSs have the right to raise the price to market, because the entire from the beginning of the creation of Lorcana, they've honored market price. When you went to your LGS, they were selling boxes for $100. They were honoring the market price. Oh, this is what it's going for. And they were making $10 to $15 on a box. If that, some of them were breaking even. Now that it has flipped and market price is over MSRP, they have a right to charge that. You can't have it one way and then when it's not benefiting you no more, you're mad. You didn't go to your LGS and say, yo, market price 105, but yo, just charge me MSRP. Nobody ever did that. It's like you can't be mad at it. The market is showing that there's a demand for these items. You gotta pay the price, bro. The way I look at it and the way my mind works, I'm not gonna sit around and complain about stuff. I'm either gonna put myself in the position to get what I want, or I'm just not gonna participate. And I think a lot of people, and I don't want to be harsh, but I think a lot of people have to come to that realization, and you gotta collect your wallet. If your wallet is saying, hey, $200-300 for a booster box is too much, then it's just too much. Or maybe you need to change what you're doing. Maybe you need to, buy some hangers, or maybe you need to buy some trolls. Maybe you just need to adjust how you collect or how you enjoy the hobby. And I think a lot of people aren't adjusting to what the hobby is right now, and they're just complaining. But at the end of the day, people are gonna complain. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm just giving my opinion on it because I'm enjoying the hobby. Um, you know, I don't have unlimited money, but I'm in a position to where if I want something, I can pretty much get it, for the most part. But some stuff is like it don't make sense. Am I buying Wilds Unknown boxes at 200 to rip? No. To invest in, yes. But that's just me. That's just what I'm doing. And I know that there's people that's not in a position to do that. And I think the best thing for you to do is maybe try to better your position. Not to be insensitive, but the way I was raised and where I grew up, we didn't have time to complain about stuff. We had to get it done. So if you're saying, hey, yo, you want to collect, if you want that bus card, I'm not saying to go out there and buy it for 5,000, but I'm saying, um, maybe try to find some way to put yourself in a position to where you can afford it. If that's really like your grail, if that's really something that you really want. I think that everybody has 24 hours in a day. I think that everybody has an opportunity to get what they want in these hobbies, and I think that it kind of falls on you. And that's pretty much it, man. So to close it up, do I think Pokebros ruined the hobby? No. I think that it's a lot better now. I think that the players are taken care of, and I think that You know, it's okay for you to want your collectibles to have value. It's okay for me to have a card and to love the art of the card, but to also love that it's something that most people don't have. To also love that the pop report is, 50. You know, it's okay to have that. And I want people, because I know there's people that think like me. I don't want them to be shamed into thinking like, oh, we gotta be on the hate train of new people coming in and treating them a certain way. I see how people are treated on Facebook pages when they come in and they're asking questions and they're like, yo, go back to Pokemon and stuff like that. These are miserable people. And they're gonna be miserable no matter what. But I don't focus on that. I'm enjoying the hobby and I think it's great. Another thing I wanted to talk about before I end this is Pokemon has been on a tear for the last almost 2 years, right? And people are mad about, they're not being able to get product and all that stuff and to rip whatever. The one thing I never heard anybody say from a person that plays the game, yo, these playable cards are so unaffordable. And that alone lets me know that Lorcana is on a great path overall, long term. Because the more people that come in, the more packs that are going to get ripped, the more cards that are going to be given to the players. It's going to be nice and affordable for players that are already playing, for the new players, and that ecosystem is going to work. So I'm bullish on Lorcana. I see where Lorcana's going. Um, yeah, man, just get off that hate train, man. It's seeping through your pores. Just get off that hate train, man. Get that hate out your blood. You know what I'm saying? Go open the pack. I'll catch you guys in the next video.